Looks like we're hot on Twitch. And we're hot on YouTube.
Let's see, where is the... Oh, crap. When you get a chance, Griffin, you can put the video on on the live
thank you,
stream.
man.
No problem, bud.
As soon as I figure out which one it is.
Good to
I hope this is it.
Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm.
Nope, that ain't it.
Here are the details.
Oh god, which one is it? Nope, that ain't it. Well, we'll figure it out in a minute. Greetings, and welcome back to the Soul Voices of Soul Citizens. I am back with my good friend Colossal. It's Saturday, July the 9th, and man, so much has happened. Wow, since the last time we had our show, but even more has happened since the last time we've seen our buddy Colossal. What's up, man?
Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Guten Tag. Hello, how you doing, Griff? Good to see you guys.
To the German on this. I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to get this video stream up for you, but I just had, I had too many other weird screens up, so I'm gonna shut some things down in the background, and then I'll get it up for you in just a second. How have you been, man? You've been busy. You've been traveling the world and doing all types of stuff, right?
Yeah, the world was Chicago. And
the world comes to Chicago, so that's cool. That's cool.
yeah, well, we had some business to do over there and things like that, and try to take a little mini vacation while over there.
Mm-hmm.
But things went well. Things
Good.
went well until I got home.
Yeah.
Folks never do what Colossal did when he got home. I was very, very hungry, and I decided to go ahead and have something to eat, and accidentally poisoned myself with egg that was 2 months expired. Don't ask me how. But I'm a recovering person on that one. So
you grabbed the wrong crate, is what you're saying, basically, of eggs.
I had 2 crates of eggs in there, and I threw the one that was good away, and the one that was bad I didn't even look. And I wanted some grits and eggs and bacon. Guys, I'm a huge grits, eggs, and bacon guy. Brunch, morning, noon, night, all that good stuff. Right? Anytime. And I decided to have some grits and eggs and bacon at 2:00 in the morning Eastern time. And the eggs did not sit well with me, and has not been sitting well with me since then. So that's where I'm at. But other than that, I'm good.
Other than that, you're fine. Okay. Well, listen, let's do some quick shout outs. We've got some folks that are hanging out with us today. By the way, thank you for those of you all who joined us. As many of you all know, we just recently started to do this show both on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. So if you're on Twitch, if that's your favorite platform, thank you for joining us. And of course, those of you who started out with us on YouTube, thank you for being here today. As always, to give you a background on this show, Our Saturday show is one where we do one-on-ones with you, the community. You get to come in and talk with Colossal. You get to come in and talk with me and share your thoughts about the topics that we bring up. And we pull the topics from Spectrum, CIG's forums page, and we also pull information from Reddit. And then sometimes, well, today we're going to pull a question that I came up with for Colossal that he can get to talk about a little bit. And then, of course, well, the player haters are going to be here later on too. And we haven't had the player haters here, and they've been on hiatus too. And they coming back for the month of July, kicking off summer with a little bit of summer heat and summer hate. So Colossal and I are going to move out the way in a little while and let you guys talk with the player haters as well. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start talking about some things that I found on Spectrum. Colossal, I think you might find this a little bit interesting, and I think our viewers will too. I said I want to give some shout outs, right? I didn't do the shout outs. Let me see.
Yeah, we got Fast Car in here. What's up, Fast Car?
Fast Car's here. Who else is here? Why is my thing
Mr.
not
Face
showing
is
me?
here. Big Murder Face is in here.
Big Murder Face.
Name.
I
Big
love
Murder
that. I love that.
Cypress Stone is running around in the corner.
Yeah, we got
Blac-Jac
Captain
Legion up in the
Jones.
house.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you guys. Yeah, thanks for joining us today. All right, buddy, let's go ahead and just get into it with our very first question. Let me change up our camera here so we can get into the right studio. I'll read this off as usual, and then we're going to let you kick us off with it. The title of this was, "This game is still unplayable," by Captain Tango Fox. Game is still unplayable, Colossal. Since I decided to become a citizen 3 days ago, and though I've been waiting for years for this game to get officially released, I turned 53 years old now. So I said to myself, I will wait no further, especially since SC YouTubers are talking positively now about the game being in as much better state than in version 3.17. Being super excited that I finally got the game, I spent probably 4 to 6 hours a day during the past 3 days exploring and attempting to do missions. I played Elite Dangerous before, so I did find some resemblances on how things should be done. Well, this is how it went so far with me. The trial delivery mission went well. While few of the subsequent ones had a red delivery counter box glitched on me and will not accept delivery. So I said, no problem, skip delivery missions, boring to me anyway. First bounty hunting trial. My ship exploded as soon as I reached the destination. Was the game on the server reading something that the game on my PC was not reading? I do not know, but I do know that it was a very disappointing experience. With determination, I finally reached the cave missions. First attempt, my legs got stuck in the rocks and I had to respawn, making me lose everything, even the mission. Second attempt, the game just crashed after spending about an hour in the cave, not mentioning that the backpack glitched and I wasn't able to loot anything because when I arrived in the cave. So I am truly about to give up playing the game, as it is pointless in my opinion, since I'm unable to do missions, progress, and simply enjoy it as I should. How on earth this game is more stable and playable now with version 3.7? Respect the admiration to those players who must have been through hell trying to play the previous versions. In my humble view, it is a big mistake to add any new content to this game before fixing most of its bugs and enhancing its playability with the least common sense features. I mean, how after all these years of development, we still don't have night vision mode, whether in the ship or on your helmet, and still have to respawn at our chosen home station and not where we left the game off, at least if it crashes, to name a few. Elite Dangerous is not as beautiful and promising as SC, but I have to give its developers the credit for polishing and sorting out many of its issues in a short time, considering the time this game is and will taking before will be taking. Okay, that's it. I know there's a lot of mouthful there, Colossal, and I'm sure you're already grinning, so I'm sure you've already got some thoughts, and I'm sure chat has some thoughts too. I'm reading Black Sky Legion's comments. Yeah, what do you think about this? I mean, this is somebody who's evidently come back to the game, because as you know, a lot of the big streamers now are, showing off the game and talking about how great it is. So what are your thoughts?
I don't know if he came back. I mean, he said in his humble view. Well, in my humble view, you're being disingenuous. And the reason why is because he made no mention in his statement that this game is in alpha. not one. Okay, and to go ahead and literally sit there and compare this game. I'm not trying to, I'm just analyzing your comments here. So these are just my opinions.
Or he's forgotten, or he has forgotten. Right.
Well, he said, he's been waiting for this for a long time. I don't think he's coming back because he made no mention of coming back. He just sat there and said that, he's turned 53. Well, I'm 44. And I've been waiting for what? Probably longer than him. And once again, he didn't mention that this game was in alpha. He just sat there and said, we're in version 3.17.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Okay.
True.
And there are a lot of versions in different games out there. There are different types of versions in World of Warcraft. There are different types of seasons when you play Ark. There are different types of seasons when you play Atlas. So, but those games.
7 Days to Die is in version 18, by the way, or 20, something like that. So we're just in version 3.
But
go ahead.
Those games are completed.
No, it ain't. That's 7 days. It's still not.
Well,
I'm just saying. To your point.
To my point, those games are done. Okay, all they're getting is DLCs. Elite Dangerous has a role plan, and what they put out around Horizons was a 10-year role plan. Right? Yeah. But that game technically is, as far as on a development scale, as far as putting it out, technically in beta / completed. Okay, Star Citizen is not, and that's why I sat there and said that he was being disingenuous. Okay, so I got some points. I went ahead and wrote some things down. Like I said, this was an interesting conversation for me. It's sounds like it's just one person. Issue number 1 was waiting for years for the game to come out and play. Once again, it's not a game; it's a simulation, and you're still going to be waiting because it's an alpha. Okay, it's an alpha. Issue number 2 for me: delivery missions being boring. Obviously, he did not check into the game mechanics of that because once again, you got to earn reputation. And if he was doing delivery missions or other missions that are available currently in the simulation / AKA game, you earn reputation and points, which he failed to mention that part. Okay, it got boring to him because he was doing delivery missions. Okay, find something else to do. There's mining and other things and so forth. Issue number 3, bounty hunting trails. I just left that alone with that because we can talk a little bit more about that when you get your points in. Cave missions. Pointless to play the game because he was not able to simply put enjoy it as I should. Once again, this is an alpha. You're not going to enjoy anything as you should normally enjoy a game in its completed state. So this game is not in its completed state.
So let me counterpoint you on that, because we've talked about this in the past on our other show. We've talked about, is there a danger that when people see stuff on YouTube and they see that game session that somebody does where nothing goes wrong, you know what I mean? Or they see the trailers and they say playable now. Is that the stuff that's making people come to this game thinking this, as you mentioned, that the game is polished or ready and it's not? Is that maybe what's leading to that too? Because he does mention he watched some YouTubers and that's kind of what got him pumped up. Do you think that that's maybe where the failure is coming in? That maybe the YouTubers aren't mentioned, or maybe they just happen to see a YouTuber that had a great gameplay day. I know that some days you go in a game, take 3-4 hours, nothing goes wrong, right? Do you think that maybe these people that's what's kind of throwing them off a little bit?
Well, yes, because Jared has even said that one of his most disappointing aspects of listening to the community is when the community gives wrong information. And there are some people who literally go on there and say, this is what CIG said when CIG did not say that.
Yeah, but if I watch you play and you have a great game session, right? I've been watching Colossal streaming on YouTube, and man, you're talking about how great the game is, and you might say, yeah, there's little bugs here and there, but whenever I watch you, everything goes good, right? And obviously streamers aren't going to go streaming, bad stuff. Well, they might, I don't know, but I'm saying, do you think that may be why they're thinking that because they don't get the fact that it's alpha? Even though I know they said 3.17, that should tell them that it's in development, but evidently that didn't register, evidently.
But who's to say that it didn't? I mean, this person may have known that this game was in alpha, but has a completely different intent.
Okay, I got you.
In terms of distributing what they really what they really are saying here. This person is comparing the game to Elite Dangerous. There are other space games out there. you know, that you can go ahead and compare this game to. No Man's Sky, that's a tribute to Black Sky Legion. You know, and other games that are out there, Imperium. There are other games that are out there that you can go ahead and compare this game to. It seemed like to me that this was somebody who was coming from Elite Dangerous. This is my point of view. Who come from Elite Dangerous, who was trying to sit there and say, "Hey, Elite Dangerous is still good." You know, and things like that. Because, like I said, it's okay. I'm glad this guy came in, and I'm glad he decided to go ahead and jump into Star Citizen in alpha, which he did not mention. You know, talking about certain parts of the gameplay that was talked about by Jared and the team that they're going to implement. Okay. Then he's saying that they're not in this game. I don't know why. So I'm wondering, one, who is he watching? What YouTubers? Because there are YouTubers out there who are really, really passionate about this game that are putting right information out there. So it confuses me on how he has come in with the idea that this game is not in alpha.
Okay. All right. Let's bring in a couple people. Let's see what they got to say about it. I think we had, I don't know if we had Pops or Fist first, but we'll bring in Age Before Beauty. So why don't we bring in Pops first here? Pops, you there?
Hey, yes, I am.
Hey, how are you, Pops? You're a little soft, Pops. I don't know if you can get closer to your mic or bring your volume up just a little bit for us. That'd be great.
Okay. How's that?
That's much better. Thank you.
That's great.
Okay.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay. All right. Great points, Colossal. You covered everything. The only thing I'm just going to add is that I don't know how they fix this problem that CIG has with the game because it looks great. It's got, the ships are fantastic. It has features in the game. You can walk in your ship that no other game has right now, but it is in an alpha. Like Colossal said, we are in there. We're not really truly playing the game. We are really truly collecting data for CIG is what we're really doing.
But he didn't come to the game to do that, Pops. He came to the game to play it. So are the bells and whistles giving people the wrong impression?
I think so. I think so. I think this is my personal thing. When I came into the game, I had the same thing, and I would get frustrated. Now I've changed, I've shifted, I've adapted to realize that I am really, when I go in the game, I am helping them collect data for the game to look at certain things. And the only other thing I would like to point out is that he keeps bringing up bugs that should have been fixed by now. When you know and you work in code, one thing breaks something else. So, hey.
Okay. So, and like you said, maybe having an understanding of this is a development and that's what's going to happen, right? Okay.
Right.
All right, Pops.
Which I didn't have. I didn't have that till watching Disco, like Colossal mentioned. You've gotta watch all that and understand where you're at and what you're doing.
Okay. All right, Pops.
Other thing in addition to that, Pops, great points, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you get the sense that he mentioned anything that was just extravagant or anything that was good or anything that was working in the game?
He just talked about the game being pretty. That was about it, I think, right? That was the one thing he mentioned.
And we all know the game is. We all know the game.
I'm saying that's the only. I'm just saying that's the only thing he said that was positive. As I'm saying,
that's the only thing that he said that was positive, which makes me think what was his intent. Because he came in here saying, "Well, I've been waiting for this game for years. Never said he was an original backer. Never said this is his first time. Never said that he's played it before.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that this is his first time in the game because it's 53 and he's been waiting for a long time. Granted, there are people who's been waiting longer and people who's older than him that's been waiting for this game. But I don't see anything in here that talks about the uniqueness of getting in and off a ship, which Elite Dangerous cannot do. I don't in terms of walking around the ship. Didn't say anything about that. He just basically said, "I'm gonna go back to Elite Dangerous and blah 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 blah," and won't tell you anything about the first person shooter aspect about how that was. I don't see that in the game. He says he came in at 317. Okay, did you participate in it? Once again, it's an alpha that you failed to mention, so that you participate in any of the missions that's been going on. If he was able to participate in 3.17, so there are a lot of things in here that I could go ahead and nail about. Which ship did you have? Was it the starter ship? Did you?
Wait a minute. Wait. Pops. First of all,
what's up?
Colossal, he sound like a white knight right now, right? He's starting to sound like a white knight, all right? And Pops, I'm gonna move you out so we can bring somebody else in, because evidently this has really triggered him, okay? And I gotta still get Mr. Mason guy in here, because Colossal is all set and ready. All right, let's bring Fist in.
A lot of stuff regurgitated up in there.
Keep going.
Fist, let's hear what you have to say about this.
All right.
Okay, because I feel like they got Colossal worked up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he did. He on his revved up. He revved up. I get it. No problem, buddy. Hey, I would just basically say, I mean, great points for everybody. My thing is, and I'm gonna try to throw this suggestion. I mean, this is more of a suggestion. Maybe we as a community could start making content videos and plastering alpha all over it and put like a disclaimer on there. This is alpha, and in alpha, this is what you are going to experience. You are going to experience bugs. You are going to experience random deaths. You are going to experience frustration. You are going to experience gray hairs. You're going to, and maybe even incur a drinking problem. I don't know. I'm just joking right there. But anyway, I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? As far as from a community standpoint. Yeah. Because I mean, CIG, they have their hands full as far as developing the game. Yeah. You know, and I get it. It's going to be tough for them to try to monitor and try to continuously say, hey guys, this is what's going to happen. And because repeating yourself, it does get frustrating.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. In light of that, there are still people who say that even when we give them that information, CIG is just making excuses. This stuff should have been done. Like he uses, for example, and Colossal raises this point really well. How did he come to the game with? Because he evidently came to the game with expectations. For example, he said they should have night vision in this game, right? Now you and I both know that night vision is not one of the priorities of this game, but it's not a priority. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of all the things that we worry about in that game, night vision is not at the top of the list. So, to Colossal's point, is some of this him bringing to the table the things that he wants to see in the game, that he wants to play, and not really try to do the homework on what is this game that Chris Roberts is making? You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like he came with assumptions.
I think what you're saying is like, excuse me, I'll try to get the thought back. I think what you're saying is like this. He came into this game and had an idea about how the way he saw the game, how the way he want the games to be. Not realizing, like I've heard you guys say plenty of times, this is Chris Roberts' game and we're playing his game.
Okay. Colossal, Colossal. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to see what Colossal's got to say. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He ain't telling us nothing we don't already know. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just speaking of devil's advocate, Captain Tango Fox. I'm glad you gave us this because we're just analyzing here. I like to play the devil's advocate, so I'm not tearing you apart. I'm just basically, being the bad guy for a chance. But I mean, he's not telling us anything we don't already know. Yeah. And when it comes to this, I'm looking at his statement. He's talking about in his humble view about not about adding new content to this game without fixing the old stuff. We've been barking on this for the last 7-8 years, sometimes 10, I guess, if you want to go back that far. So we understand all that and stuff like that. But what gets me about this entire thing is, once again, there's no mention of alpha. 2, there's very little mention of anything specific in terms of what he did enjoy. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. And then it goes back to Elite Dangerous. So it leads me to believe that he's an Elite Dangerous fan. I love Elite Dangerous. I played Elite Dangerous. So trust me, I can relate to you about Elite Dangerous. I can relate to you about the night visions. I get all that. But once again, Elite Dangerous was done and they put out Horizons, and it was done when they put out, it wasn't done when they put out that other patch that we may not go ahead and name Odyssey. So let's talk about that part too, right? So there are a lot, that's why I said this is kind of humbly disingenuous, because it doesn't make any reference to the fact that this simulation is still an alpha.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you're putting out something like that, you got to at least put out a notice. And I'm quite sure that he's listened to YouTube. If you're listening to YouTubers and those YouTubers have not made any comment whatsoever that this game is in alpha, you might want to find a new YouTuber.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Fist. Thank you, man, for dropping in. Okay.
Always.
All right. Let me get Kai Zen in here. Hey, Kai.
Hello.
How are you, man?
Kai.
I'm fantastic. Good. How y'all doing?
Hey, good show last night too, by the way. I sat in quietly, but I was listening.
I appreciate you.
You guys did a great show.
Want to give a shout out to Mad Style and Yolos who resubbed. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't even say that. Thank you, Mad Style, as always. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
So I agree with the points everybody's been making. They made a lot of great points. I think you would have to look at this if you want to take this at face value, which I'm a little reluctant to do. I would, if I took this at face value and said this is a 53-year-old person who, and Mads, Colossal, you said, I don't know how long he's been with the program. He says in the very first words of his post, he said, I decided to become a citizen 3 days ago. So he's brand new, according to what he's stating on this post. If you have a 53-year-old person who doesn't understand yet when it says, hey, this game isn't done, because you have to click on that when you buy in. You have to click on that every time you load in. You have to click on that every time there's a patch. I feel very, very sorry for the person who, or the people around this person who have to spend all day, every day with this person who is 50. Like, if you don't get it, if you click without reading and whatever, and you're 12, that's completely fine. But if you're 53, you're a grown ass man. You've got no excuse for not having some common sense. However, I don't think that that's what we're dealing with here. I think that Colossal was very, very astute in picking up some of the key things that were said in the post that lead me to believe that this is a very disingenuous post. This is a post by an Elite Dangerous fanboy who is pissed off that the content creators are leaving Elite Dangerous and they're going to, among various other places, they're going to Star Citizen. Some of them are going to Starfield in the future, and some of them right now are playing No Man's Sky, and some of them are doing Subnautica and doing all these different things. But I think the largest right now location that they're going to is Star Citizen. So what this person did is said, I picked up a game that is not released yet, and I'm going to compare it unfavorably to Elite Dangerous. Now, Elite Dangerous was released on December 16th, 2014. That is a game that has been out for 7 years, 5 months, and whatever, however many weeks. And if you take, so let's put this in terms of like a movie. Those Avatar movies, they're coming out with another one this year. Later this year, they're coming out with an Avatar movie. The James Cameron whatever. It took him over a decade to make that movie.
Right.
Why? Because he wasn't making, your standard, hey, get in hot chick, get in hot guy, do a will they, won't they, fall in love, set it in Paris, boom. Okay, we've done this movie 10 billion times. We could do this movie in 2 months of filming and 2 months of post-production. He wanted to do something completely new, completely different. He's inventing all kinds of new tech, and maybe it'll be great, and maybe it'll be dog shit. Nobody knows, whatever. And maybe it's to your taste, maybe it's not to your taste. But the fact of the matter is he took over a decade to make something big and ambitious and something that's unlike anything that's ever been done before. So if I were to go and say, well, I watched Mission Impossible 19 or whatever one they're on now, because that one's out, or I watched Top Gun, because it's out. And man, the special effects in it were amazing. It was great because it's out, it's done, it's polished. But if I were to go and say, a year or two out from Avatar, whatever the hell the next one is, a year or two before it's released, and I were to say, man, this movie is horrible. They're acting, it's just green in the background and they're just acting to a broom handle. And it's like, yeah, idiot, it's not done. Once they add in all of the special effects, it won't be just green in the background. It'll be the planet of Pandora, and it won't be a broom handle. It'll be a big sea monster, but it's not done yet. So to compare, Elite Dangerous, a game that's been out for 7 years and a half, to Star Citizen, a game that's 3 or 4 years from being out, and then saying one of these is way more polished than the other. To me, I'm like, you've got to be the dumbest 53-year-old on the planet.
Okay.
So I think Colossal was right. I think that this is not an honest, like, hey, I'm just a player. I like this. I like that. I think this is a very mad, Elite Dangerous fanboy who sees all the content creators that are leaving from one and going to the other, and is now like, I'm gonna make this little poison pill and try to, I don't know. It's kind of pathetic.
Oh, you nailed it.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I'm not going to say nothing to it. Okay, Kai, I appreciate it. We just go move on to the next one then.
Right on.
Thank you, brother.
Everything I was saying in a nutshell.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let's go on to our second topic. This one came from Spectrum as well. Now, Colossal, this one I got to put some background to because I don't want people to freak out too much. But this one was being done as a tongue-in-cheek post, okay?
Yep.
And by the way, I didn't spell it wrong. The person spelled it wrong, so I just put it in there the way they did. I know you being the educator. I knew you were going to bust me on it, but nope, that's the way they put it in. And they may have done that deliberately because they were trying to be funny. Okay. So let's talk about this one. This one again came from Kili is who brought this one in here. It was called PvE is Greifing. Think of all those hardworking AI that are just scrounging by, and then all of a sudden, someone who hates attacking their own comes in and destroys their mining operation. And for what? Some money to fuel the UEE propaganda machine? PvE is Greifing because all you're doing is harming innocent AI, people who were 1 week away from retirement. PvE players are the same type of people who stay with the status quo, while the PvP players are there to fight for the independence of the system. PvP is not in place to take away from players. It's in place to give back to the AI. Now, you might say, okay, person's being funny, why would they put that in here? Well, they weren't hating about PvE and PvP. But what was interesting in this particular thread was how people responded to what this person had to say. So I want to read to you one of the responses that came up about this. This is the very first one that's at the top, and it was voted up 76 times, Colossal. This is what the response was to the person who was trying to be funny. Are you ready for this? They said, no matter what's your opinion on the PvP debate, this post has absolutely no use other than satire. Why not come up with a meaningful and thought out topic that encourages discussion? This isn't helpful.
What the idiot felt to answer was, he's discussing.
Wait. The funny thing about this is that what was funny about this is that people actually started writing crazy because this person just brought up something to make people laugh about the argument of PvP, and they start ripping on this guy saying, what you're talking about is a waste of time. Don't post it in here, blah, 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 blah. Are we getting too serious in Spectrum? I mean, are we so focused about a game that somebody can't come in and just say something kind of humorous to kind of break the ice, and then we just snap on them? This guy voted 76 times. What you had to say has no relevance and is empty. Don't be posting that stuff in here.
You give a dog a bone. But I do want to make one statement.
Okay.
Now that, my friends, is propaganda. Okay, what he gave y'all was propaganda, and these people who responded back to him fell into the trap.
They did.
And I teach propaganda. I teach civics.
They did. Okay. They did. Yeah.
This dude clearly gave him a propagandized statement of characterizing PvP as Greifing.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you the funny part, Colossal. I think somebody, Fastcar, put the link in. If you look at that link, look at the picture. Look at the picture that he has that goes along. You all look at the picture that he puts in there with his post. Do you see it?
Unbelievable.
Now, He was being funny. He was picking a fact at you all making all this argument. He says, "Oh, we should be defending the AI. That's why we should be out here doing PvP." And people look at the first post. No matter what your opinion on this debate, why are you coming in here? You should have something meaningful to say. Are we getting too serious about this?
Yeah, of course. And then put a hashtag on it 1 week from retirement.
Right.
I mean, I think it's I had to look at this twice. Now I didn't see this picture until now, but I had to look at this twice to really see what he was saying, because I was like, is he really one of those crazy people out there?
Right.
But by the way, I just want you to remember the word fraud. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
right.
So this is propaganda, folks, at its best in terms of it being comical. I love the way how he really twisted the idea of Greifing moving from PvP to PvE.
Yeah.
And and we all know that when you're being griefed, it has to be because of you've lost someone or something real. Right. And to ask an AI, to literally put that in a different spotlight, I thought it was an amazing post, and apparently those people fell into it. I do it all the time. If you give a dog a bone, the dog gonna chew it.
It'll go
and
up.
These 72 dogs just went ahead and went at it.
Well, the Space Marshal says if the AI was self-aware, that would be griefing indeed. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you guys get the humor here. I do.
Just make sure you apply for your job when you're talking to Addison on that one. She might love you with that post.
Okay, we got a couple of commenters here. By the way, guys, don't forget the link is in the chat there. It's on our page. If you're on Twitch, it's on the bottom of right underneath the video for on YouTube. You guys can come in and give us your thoughts. Please come in and talk to us. Colossal and I will not bite you. We will laugh with you. We will not give you a hard time, but we do want to hear from the community. So you guys feel free to come in and share your thoughts on any of this stuff that we're talking about here. Pops, you're back. What's happening? Are you eating the salt? Are you eating the salt? Did people get too worked up over this? Somebody's trying to be funny on this. Is that the sin? The worst thing you could do is try to be funny on Spectrum?
This was the best clickbait I've seen. I made a post about wanting a brand new land vehicle. I mean, I got like maybe 15 responses. I didn't get as many as this person got. Maybe I should have made mine like this, and I would have got more responses from it. But first, I'm glad you two brothers are feeling much better. But I loved it, and I'll let everybody else finish commenting on it.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate it, Pops. Thanks a lot.
All right.
All right, let's bring in Fist again. Fist?
Hey,
all right. Hey, are you digging all this salt? Are people too serious out here?
Hey, I want to ask you guys, okay, so before I answer that question, I got to ask this question. The person that you said had the 776 upvotes, I'm looking at his name, Coco Pelli. Is that that's pronounce it? I wanted to know, like, when you go on Spectrum, because I rarely go on there too much. And so when you go on there and you try to look for an admin or something like that, would I usually see like other admins like Jake Acapella and all of them, their names are in yellow, right?
Yeah, on the side, yeah.
Their names are in yellow.
Well, they'll
so why isn't his name? Well, my question is,
next to the
he's not.
So it has a dash CIG. So why doesn't his name? So why doesn't Coco Pelli have one?
Well, you know why? Because he's not a mod. That's why. He's not with CIG.
I get it. You know what I mean? Because I was just trying to understand. When people try to enforce a
to be the Spectrum police, right?
Right. You know what I mean? I was trying to look for his position with, you know what I mean, his admin position. I didn't see it. I just wonder if you guys saw it. Did you see it? No, I didn't see it. Okay, no problem. I get it. If y'all understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, we get it. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And there are some people who do comment down further about being the police of the forum. That people can't come in. That people cannot come in and say, I mean, he wasn't being disrespectful, right? He wasn't saying anything that was against the rules. He just decides to drop in a topic. And mind you, here's the funny part.
Right.
He's the original poster. It's not like they were having a serious conversation and he decided to drop a joke in the middle of it. He started this thread. It's his thread. So how you gonna come in and tell somebody else what they're supposed to talk about in their own thread? right?
Hey, listen, it's kind of one of those things, like we said the other day, where it's like back in the day, you played a record, and if you didn't like it, you moved on.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of like in a sense
not
like
anymore,
this,
right? Yeah, not anymore.
It's not like that anymore.
We don't like the record. We got to be a critic.
Yeah, the YouTube's dislikes, likes.
Yeah.
Why is that even? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why you spend the energy to type something out, right? The good points.
Exactly.
And we get the admin piece. That's very good. No policing, right? They shouldn't be policing.
Yeah, it's all right. If you didn't like it, I'm moving on. There you go.
All right, Fitz. Thank you, man. All right, let's bring Kai in. Kai's in line. Hey, Kai.
Hello.
Hey, back again. What's up?
So, I want to introduce people to a concept in case I'm sure you, Griff, and Colossal are aware of this, but there are some people that listening that might not be.
Okay.
There is a subdivision of rhetoric called polemicism.
Mm-hmm.
And polemicism is the idea of making an absurd point,
right,
to
highlight the real thing,
inherent absurdities within the argument itself.
Mm-hmm.
Polybius was a great polemicist back, you go back to the Greeks thousands of years ago. He was basically the first, I think, the god of all troll shit posters on Reddit or whatever. This is a thing that is not new. I think if you look at the way that he phrased it and the things that he's writing, down to the whole point of like this poor AI is 1 week from retirement. That's straight up. He's calling forth the image of Danny Glover in the original Lethal Weapon, where he's like, I'm one week from retirement. I'm too old for this stuff. And it literally what he's doing with this post is making a satirical, absurd comment
about how
and
PvP
then it's a lobster trap. He just places it there on Spectrum and then stand back and giggles as all of the lobsters go running into the trap and start screaming about how I've been trapped. And the point of the post is literally to say a silly thing, make it super obvious to anyone with 2 brain cells that he's being silly, end it with a silly picture so that you know that he's being silly, and then stand back and watch all of these idiots trap themselves as they get vociferously, angry or you don't know and you can't this and you can't that. And you're absolutely right, Griffin. It's important that he posted it in his own thread, because if not, people could legitimately have a right for saying, hey, dude, don't sidetrack our conversation. We're trying to discuss a serious point here. But he did this. This is crafted absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And I say bravo to him. And
to your point, he did take the humorous satirical situation to basically go contrast to the attitudes of what people have about PvP. That's exactly what he's doing, right? And unfortunately, the PvP play, actually, this is advocating for PvP. And the crazy PvP commenters didn't get it. It went over their heads. And he's saying, why don't you bring something that's meaningful? When he swaps out PvP players and PvE players and flips it around and says the same thing that you guys complain about us PvPers, AI could say the same thing about you. That's all he's basically saying, puts it in a humorous context. But again, I was just blown away that the number one response was, hey, shut up and get out of here with that stuff.
Holy crap. Like, hey, Mad Styles, 25 gift subscriptions.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Mad Style.
Mad Style.
Drunken with love, Mad Style.
Thank you, Mad Style. Oh my God. 26. Oh my God. Thank you. You guys, y'all give some love out to Mad Style for that. If you all were blessed by his gift, y'all give him a shout out, because he's a great supporter, and many of you all are, but Mad Styles always comes through. Thank you, Mad Style.
So I thought it was a great post. If you were to take the post seriously, though, like, let's just for a moment, we all know, we're adults, we're not idiots. We know that it was meant as a silly satire, but let's take it serious. Let's just for a moment take it absolutely serious, dead serious. He's saying, well, it's a crime to attack NPCs, AIs, and rob them and whatever. And of course, now, this is how you know that it's meant to be silly, because if you were to treat it seriously, the answer would be, of course it is. If you're out there and you're murdering, if you go running around on a planet place someplace and just murdering whatever. If you go into a bunker and shoot not only the criminals but also the cops, you get a crime rating. You are a criminal. The game already, if you wanted to take it serious,
right,
the game already has a resolution to that. So like again, that's just underscores the fact that no, man, he was just being silly. He was saying, let's not all be so hypersensitive about PvP,
right,
because when you think about it, any killing is killing in a game. And when you look at the fact that eventually Quantum will outnumber us 9-1, you're going to be in a situation where most of us will be eventually killing NPCs in one type or another. And there's, that's all part of it. It's built into the system.
In addition, I think he's making a statement that basically no 2 points are different. They're all alike. Because what he's saying here is, I mean, we all know Greifing is intentionally disrupting the immersion of another player in their gameplay. That's Greifing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can relate that to PvP and you can relate that to PvE.
Yeah. I mean, so until we get to the point where the AI, passes the Turing test and it says, please, no, don't, I have children. This is just silliness.
Okay. All right, Kai. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
All right.
Kai.
We got one more topic that we're going to hit, and then we're going to get the player haters in here. This one, I'm glad I actually had this one lined up for Colossal when he got back in town, because it's something that he's been talking about for quite a while. We're going to change gears from Spectrum to Reddit now. This one came up, and it was called by Ursus Tempest 55. I would love to see something similar to ED's landing radar in SC. And Colossal has been for a long time talking about two things: the scanning that we have for when we're on planets and things. One of the things that he mentioned, I remember a little while back, was like, wow, it'd be really great if we had the type of scanning that we saw in what was it, Alien, which one was it? I forget, which the last Alien, Prometheus, where they had the 3-dimensional scaling and stuff. And then next thing you know, we looked up and CIG has something very similar to that now. When you ping, you guys see like a 3D outline of everything. And then the other thing we talked about which was in the game way back in the day. This person probably doesn't know it, but there was a landing radar that was in the game. So let me read what their post says. Our side may address unacceptable conduct by conducting public-private. Is this the right thing? Does this go with this?
No, I don't think so, because when I read it, this looks like a disclaimer that basically talks about people doing appropriate things.
You know what happened? I didn't copy the thing in for this, so let me go.
I was wondering what this was.
Yeah, I didn't. That was my dopey stuff. That's what happens when you're doing too much at one time here.
Oh, that's no problem.
Let me put it in here. Hopefully, this will go to the thread.
I mean, and while you're doing that, I mean, but it goes. It goes.
There's no comments. There's no comments. That's why.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can jump in.
It goes to the point that we've been talking about for a long time. A lot of these things they've addressed in previous ISCs or other posts that they put up a long time ago. In the past, I would say 7 years. There are a lot of people who feel like that it breaks the immersion when they're moving from first person, when they're moving from viewing inside their cockpit to having to go to third person to see the landing. The landing. And things like that. And it does. Some people are really, really sensitive about that. I understand that, especially coming from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yes.
But these are things that, that the community is waiting to see. They try other implementations of it, iterations of it. Remember when when we had Lorville, when we still have Lorville, remember when they brought in the trajectory?
Yep.
The little trajectory they had
with the splines, coming in with the splines.
Right. At one point when they first implemented it, you couldn't see it.
Yep.
And then you could, and then a lot of people were saying that's a little bit too time consuming. I love the fact that there was a path that everybody had to go into, and some people weren't as, I guess, patient on waiting on that path, because it's got to be just like in airplanes, just one way in and one way out, or one area to come into the place and one area to leave the place, depending on the type of the weather and at the airport.
Yeah.
And so they're working on that. They have been working on that. They've implemented some things. They've changed some things. They've taken out the restriction areas. Remember when we had orange areas that you couldn't fly into unless or else your ship was just taken automatically. So,
but you remember when we used to have this? Remember when we would come in with the ships, you would have that dot below you that would let you know where you were landing. We've also talked about other landing assists, like we talked about cameras, right, on really large ships like the Carrack, the 890, the Reclaimer, where when you're coming into certain areas, it does. And I will admit, when I fly a large ship, it does break my immersion to go third person. Mostly not when I'm docking, but it does bother me when I go to a planetary surface and I have to go not only zoom out, but I've got to move the camera above me, or maybe I have to pull it behind me because there's boulders, rocks, right? You know, all types of things that my gear may get hung up on. And you and I both know, like even today on cruise ships, they have multiple cameras all over the place. They'll even have people standing out on deck to tell, you know, when you're coming in. So we are hoping that CIG does come up with these additional, what we call them, landing assists, I guess is what we would call them. Right.
I mean, Hellion. I mean, I don't know if Hellion is being. I think Hellion at one point was being created and it stopped. It was an alpha when I was playing it in alpha, and Hellion even had a camera on your MFD. Whenever you were docking with that docking collar, you literally, the MFD would pop up and you literally saw the trajectory and where you had to align your ship's docking collar with that, and then it locked itself in. You know, I know Star Citizen has something like that now with the little
with the dot and everything.
But to put that on an MFD where you can actually see that too on an MFD would be a great thing. So these are things that hopefully these are ideas that they're implementing or they're playing with that we just don't know about.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, all right. We got a couple commenters here, and once we get these two, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get our special guest. The player haters are going to come on board. Let's bring Dark Knight 75 down if I can get him. For some reason, I can't. Oh, there he is. Okay, DK, you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, buddy.
I'm here.
How are you, man? Here's an elite player, so he can tell us.
Yes, I can. So I think that was one of the things that made it a lot easier, or not simple, but at least made it a way for you to judge where you're going to land, what the terrain was, whether or not it was a safe place to land and your ship didn't fall over or down a cliff or something like that. And it gave you an indication of whether or not you could land in that particular location based on the terrain, which was great. It also helped when coming in for landing pads. You were able to see where you were on the landing pad, whether you were lined up, centered up, and in a space where your ship actually fit into the landing zone. It was particularly important for like larger ships, such as say the Anaconda, where it has this very long nose and you can't see below you. Hint at the 400i and the 890.
Yes.
So when it comes to Star Citizen, yes, we absolutely need something like that. And I'm thinking of when it comes, when you're flying these larger ships, having to go into third-person view takes away the drink immersion. I'm a flight sim pilot. I'm actually flying right now. And I like the immersion of being drink in the aircraft as it's landing and knowing my touchdown points and all of these other kinds of things. Doesn't have to be that extreme like you guys mentioned, but at least some kind of indication that we know what's on the ground in front of us. And and like the landing pads at some of these outposts, whenever I land my 400i there, I have to go into third person in order to see whether or not I'm centered up. I already have a visual indicator inside the hangars. I've tuned my eyes to know where my visual indicators are, so that I can go in third person or first person and be able to land center. But on those outposts, I don't know. I can't
see. Let me throw something at you though, DKC. You're one of those people like me, right? You're OCD like me. When I come in and land, I'm trying to hit that center spot. Some of these jokers got one leg hanging off the pad, one on the pad. They don't care. You know what I mean? And that's okay. They want to get into everything. But some of us who are like into that simulation level of play or that immersive level of play, we want to be on the mark, right? We want to be center point. And matter of fact, no joke. When I land, I go to third person just to see whether or not I'm too far to the left, right, forward, and back, right? Some people, that's too much. And I get it. For some people, they could care less.
Y'all need to be a pro because I'm just like Aurelius. I never go third person with landing.
Now, wait. I said I go third person after I land is what I said. Now, let me share something with you guys, the technology that I wish they would put in, DK, that you touched on. and I think Colossal will dig this. I recently started flying professionally flying a drone.
Mm-hmm.
The drone that I have actually has a mode in it because it has sensors and cameras on it. That when you start to move toward an obstruction or an object, on the screen, it will start turning red as you're approaching it. And it does that on the top, bottom, left, and right. So if you're too far to the left or something, or an obstruction is coming up, it starts to get red and then brighter and brighter. That lets you know you're getting closer and closer to the object.
Right.
I wish CIG did something like that.
It does.
Where they no.
All right, let you finish.
Not to that point. Like when you're going into the hangars, like when you're dropping straight down on these big ships and you got those tight hangars, there is no indicator other than you're getting ready to hit something. I don't know always if it's my front's too close or my back is too close. I want something that either starts to light up if my front is getting too close or my back, something like that, that just gives me an idea. Because right now I don't get an idea unless there's something I'm missing that lets me know like a proximity, right? Like a proximity, other than proximity, right? Other than words, because words don't tell me what side of my ship is too close, and then I do have to break immersion.
Right.
I hope that they come up with something that if I start seeing the front of my thing go red, then I know my front's too close. Because some of them hangars, y'all know, for those of you who fly big ships, I know some of y'all don't never fly big ships, but if you fly big, I know Colossal does, I know DK does, big ships ain't no joke when you're trying to land, especially in wind and all that other stuff, or at night.
Yep.
I'm one of those people who hates breaking immersion. Some people don't, they just go right third person. But for me, I love being in that pilot seat and looking out that front window and
looking in when you're coming in. I'll nose it in, like Colossal. I'll 95%. I will go in first person, except for those couple, maybe if just into 400s, the only one that I might. But I've figured out how far that nose extends. I'll go in first person and I'll nose down until I get to a certain point, and then bring the tail down, and then lower myself down. But I know for me, for the Genesis, I want to be able to land in a perfect spot, because it's probably gonna have an effect on
letting out the passengers,
the NPCs and letting out the passengers, and jet bridges if they have those, and things like that. So I agree about the indicators. It would be nice to have we got them in cars now.
It's very cool.
And when they put in the indicators, I just want a big huge plea to CIG for our friends, those who are colorblind and things like that, if they can highly consider them, because we got a lot of people who do want to play the game and they're having visual issues with that. So if they can quickly implement something like that, it's been a while now, and you got some good folks that really want to play the game. They are trying to play the game as best they can, so they really need that type of support. So
that's a good shout out. Good shout out, Colossal, because we know that there are plenty of people who that is a huge issue for them. Reds and greens and stuff just don't do well. For some of us who can't see, orange against orange ain't good, or blue against blue. But for those people who really can't see, we definitely want to see it. All right, DK, thanks for dropping in, buddy. All right, we're gonna take our last one here from Kai Zen, another great elite player who wants to share some thoughts about this. Go ahead, Kai.
Sure. I absolutely agree with the sentiment of the original post. I love the fact that there's that landing indicator within Elite, and would love to see it come to Star Citizen. However, I would like to refine the point just a little bit and say the landing indicator in Elite Dangerous is very Elite Dangerous conventional. It literally just, when you get very, very low, it gives you a topographical cross section of a small area below you.
Right.
It's a white line that goes straight down from your ship. And if you're in a place where you can land, it makes a little white disc on the ground, and that says can land here. If it's not safe to land there, it's a red disc saying you cannot land here.
Right.
That, I think, is an awesome system and really well implemented in Elite Dangerous. However, Star Citizen is a vastly more complicated and rich, immersive game than Elite Dangerous is. I would like to call out something that we have already in today's world that we use regularly, and that is the concept of calling the ball. So when Navy planes are making an approach at an aircraft carrier, the pilot is in control and sets his glide path until he hits the groove. The groove is the last 15 to 18 seconds before he lands. Once he hits, quote, in the groove, then it becomes the responsibility of the LSO. On the deck of the ship, there is a landing signals officer. This person is literally very well trained, knows the glide paths, knows wind conditions, knows the characteristics of the plane in question, and actually often knows the pilots, like knows what some certain pilots come in and they hit it, you know, they're kind of a little fast or a little on the aggressive side, some are a little on the slow side. Your LSO, your landing signals officer, literally will call the ball, will say like, okay, here's your approach, you know, this, that, all of these different things, and we'll give you pluses and minuses and whatever, and we'll guide you in exactly for what you're dealing with, who the pilot is, what the aircraft is, what the wind conditions are on approach, what the wind conditions are on the deck, and anything else that could be relevant. I think there's absolutely no reason why in in Star Citizen, we would not have, if you see in some very, very, like some space games or movies, you'll see the ship coming into approach on landing. And what you end up seeing on the screen is like it's like a bunch of little slaloms that get smaller and smaller and smaller as you approach, that shows like, this is your automated glide path. This is the flight projection that will bring you in at the exact right angle, at the exact right speed for an optimal approach for like a nice, safe landing.
Yeah.
When you're talking about flying massive nuclear powered, whatever, spaceships into a huge space station with a ton of people on it. Like when we're dealing with space stuff, like with NASA, when they dock a little capsule to the ISS, you have this stuff. But why? Because space wants to kill you. You have to be safe. You have to be careful. So of course, I think in a realistic version of a situation where we're flying with spaceships in the future, that would be the minimal they would use. The maximum they would use, and I think much more believable if you're talking realistic when we get to that point, I think you're going to get to the point where you're a mile away from the space station and they take control of your ship and they fly you in, because ain't nobody want some idiot behind the wheel for the first time, or suicidal or whatever, killing a city full of people out in space. They're not going to allow that. But this is a game.
To your point, though, to your point, in Star Trek, if you remember, when they came into the space station, I think it was in Wrath of Khan, once they got in there, it went automated after a certain point, bringing it into the station. You know what I mean? Because again, you look at the ship, right? And what's there? I mean, it's the starbase, right? You can't have, it is zero room for failure, right? You can't have, like we see the Carnival cruise ship that happens to keep going and plow into the deck, right? That just can't happen in the game. I think that manual aspect of it is still good because people do enjoy that. Because, you know, when you talk to most people, you ask them, do you use auto land or do you land manually? And I want to say the bulk of the people still enjoy it. They do manual, right? Most of the people do manual. But I do think, like you said, like even when I do the docking sequence for the 890, it's cool to do it manually. But to be honest with you, I get 95% of it there to the manual. And then when I get to that very last end, I go automate it.
Like,
so that locks in.
I don't blame you.
You know, because I don't feel like banging it up. I don't want to, do, and especially if they start charging you fines again for hitting stations. Yeah. So I go automate it when I get into those last few feet of it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I paid the money for my computers on my ship to do this. You know what I mean? So it don't take me out of immersion when I do that. You know. And
I mean, I'm just making the point that if we want to talk about realism, realism is they're not going to let pilots do it. They're going to take control of your system. But a video game, you want the freedom to play and be silly and to do it and be like, yeah, look at me, I got it one try, didn't have to go to third person camera. That's right.
I did it right.
So of course, but I think having an implemented system where you have these little, like a glide approach, a glide approach assist or something where it's like, okay, it's showing me here, and then, on the bottom you might have a like reduce trim, reduce speed, whatever.
Yeah.
I think, that's absolutely what you want. So I love the fact that Elite Dangerous has it. It's a very cool system for Elite Dangerous, but Star Citizen is a much more advanced game that has much deeper systems. So I would very much like for them to do the idea,
Mhm.
but to do it the Star Citizen way, have it way more deep.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Thank you as always,
Doing
Kai.
that.
Spreading the wisdom. Okay.
Yep.
All
Spreading the word.
righty. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, well, guys.
Spread the
Yeah,
word.
thank you all for dropping in and sharing your thoughts and stuff. Listen, we are going to get moving. Colossal and I are going to take a little break. I think we've got to get our friends, the player haters here, to pick up on the second half of the show. We're going to run, as we always do, a commercial. We may have to run this commercial twice because these guys aren't even in the green room where they're supposed to be. We got to go find them. So the commercial may run twice, y'all. So it might be about 2 minutes before we back. I think this commercial is only 1 minute. And you don't see them, Colossal, do you? I don't think you see them. They're not in the green room, are they?
Yeah, I hear a door knock, so
It's probably leaving is probably what they doing. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get on this commercial, and we will be back in a few minutes. Well, we won't be back, but the player haters will be back to cover a couple more topics for today. And stick around, hang out with us. We'll be back.
Through unforgiving lands, across the impossible expanse, a mirage calls, a distant oasis. We chase what most consider myth, pursue an obsession. That's what pushes us to greatness. The oasis. It's real. The 400i by Origin Jumpworks. Through unforgiving lands, across the impossible expanse, a mirage calls, a distant oasis. We chase what most consider myth, pursue an obsession. That's what pushes us to greatness. The oasis. It's real. The 400i by Origin Jumpworks.
Soul Citizens, the network that has brought you compelling programs about citizens, backers, refunders, white knights, pirates, salty space dogs, whales, dolphins, Care Bears, griefers, and grifters. Now, the Soul Citizens Network gives you another side of the story as we go into the world of the haters. The Soul Citizens present the Playa Haters.
Where you at?
Blac-Jac.
Where you at?
What's
Where you
up,
at,
man?
G-Loc?
You ready? You ready to hit him?
Look at here. I was born ready.
Oh, you
was
ready
my
to hit him?
first and last
Oh,
name.
look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at you,
Yeah.
brother. Look out. Wait a
Bring it
minute.
back, bring
Wait
it
a
back,
minute.
'cause the king is here.
How you got a gold hat on today, man? How you gonna go gold today? I'm going gold today. What's up with
I
that?
don't know what type of gold you got. Maybe fool's gold, but it ain't real
Oh,
gold.
no, you gonna hate on me like that, brother? Welcome to the Player Haters, y'all. This is G-Loc, and I'm back again. It's been, almost over a month, and my brother Blac-Jac, Idris K, the man himself, is here, looking dapper as always. What'd you think of that commercial, man? Do you own a 400i?
Look here, I own half of the Origin ships, but let me tell you, G-Loc, I just came back from Chicago.
Oh, okay. You in the Shire?
And yeah, I was over there. I flew all right. I flew on the bicycle. It took me 36 months, but I got there. And let me tell you, I came back from Chicago, and guess what, G-Loc? It was not like Key Largo. I tell you that much. And you know what? I got a couple of things for you. You know, what's the difference between a Chicago Bears fan and Marty McFly?
I don't know.
Eventually, Marty McFly stopped going back to 1985. Okay. The other thing, you know, just to go ahead and talk about Fred over there. You know, his name is Nihilus. You know, I met some people. I met San Francisco, Manhattan, Chicago, and Miami were having a lively conversation until St. Louis passed by looking depressed. You know what Chicago said?
What?
You know what Chicago said?
What'd they say?
Chicago said, "Why are you so sad?" St. Louis replied, "I'm always in a state of misery." I mean, Missouri.
Oh, no, man. Listen, you know what? I'll never have to do this to you, brother, but I got to give you a 30K for that one, brother. That was, I don't know, that was pretty bad, brother. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That was just a celebration.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, man. We gonna go ahead and hit this show. Griff and Colossal and took off, and they done left it in our hands, so we gonna tear it up like we always do. So
they did a crappy job anyway.
All right, tell you what, my brother, let's go ahead and get the first question up. Actually, is it a question? Yeah, I guess it is a question. Now, this is from the Ultimate Channel. You know, this is the haters. You know who I'm talking about, right? You know who the haters are. The haters over there on the refund. The refund. Check out what they posted. How many of these boxes has Chris Roberts ticked off? Are you ready? I'm going to read to you these boxes, and I want to get your full thoughts on this. They say, fraud must be proved by showing that the defendant's actions involve 5 separate elements. So they try to say that Chris Roberts committed fraud. Number 1, a false statement of a material fact. Number 2, knowledge on the part of the defendant that the statement is untrue. Number 3, intent on the part of the defendant to deceive the alleged victim. Number 4, justifiable reliance by the alleged victim on the statement. And number 5, injury to the alleged victim as a result. Have you been injured, my brother, as Chris Roberts put the fraud on you?
Getting injured just by reading that there are 5 of these types of things to define fraud. That's what I'm getting injured by. This is ridiculous.
So you said it's a fraudulent post. Is that what you're trying to say?
Why can't there just be one element of fraud?
Okay.
Why I gotta be 5?
All right. Well, I guess they need some reasons to come up with why this thing called Star Citizen is a fraud, is a fake. I mean, Chris Roberts is a fake, man.
You know, all I see is a bunch of complainers. That's all I see.
Hate.
They hate. Let me go ahead and give you a quote by one of the disciples, Lou Holtz. He said, "Never tell your problems to anyone. 20% don't care, and the other 80% are glad you have them."
I love it. All right, so look, we got Pops in space. He wants to come in and talk to the player haters. Let's bring Pops in.
Last time he came in, he had to go ahead and get the word for Blac-Jac. So let's go ahead. Come on in, Pops.
All right. Well, let's see what's going on, Pops. What you think about this? Chris Roberts is a fraud, man. This Star Citizens is a fraud. What do you think?
I think this whole thing should be take Chris Roberts' name off of here and put Star Atlas name right there.
Oh, no, he didn't.
There you go.
No, he
That's
didn't.
all I got to say.
Oh, shot across the bow. Oh, what you hating on Star Atlas, Pops? You know, I got about $18 in Star Atlas right now. You trying to put the mojo on me with that. What's up with that?
Man, you could have bought me a sandwich with that $18 and had better results.
Oh man.
There's better hot dogs in Chicago than what he got from Star.
Listen,
enjoy it. Ham and cheese.
Every time Pops come in here, he always earns one of these. 30K Pops for talking about my Star Atlas and my $18, brother. I gotta kick that brother out of here, man. Hate. I can't believe that brother put a third man. All right, so who else we got? We got, oh man, this man Kazi, and now he tried to spit some wisdom with them other two cats, but let's see what he got to say. All right, we'll bring him up in here.
From Black Sky Legion.
Oh, the Black Sky Legion, Kai. So what's happening, man? Is Chris Roberts a fraud? Are you feeling are you injured as an alleged victim of the result of Star Citizen?
So I am, and I can prove it. So I can absolutely prove that Chris Roberts and Star Citizen are a fraud. Are you ready?
Oh, here it comes.
First off, I got injured.
Hold on, wait a minute, Kazi.
Okay.
Blac-Jac, what are you doing, man? You washing your hair during the show?
Yo, ETAM is a hell of a drug.
Full of electrolytes.
Yo, he got that soul glow.
And a bunch of just none of your business of what I put in my hair. So let's go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Kazi. It's my fault, man. Go ahead.
All right. So first off, your hair is looking fly. All right.
Yeah, it looks like he's got flies on it. I agree with you there. He's got some flies flying around it. Go ahead.
Here's how I was injured. Sandy done run off with my heart. But here's how I can prove that Chris Roberts and Star Citizen is a scam. Because when this thing first went to Kickstarter, they promised me the best spaceship flying sim ever.
It was the best damn spaceship.
And all these years later, I have a whole Galaxy sim. That's not what I was sold. They told me I was going to be getting a Toyota, and they're delivering a Ferrari.
Oh,
so that's a bait and switch.
Oh, now you see what's going on now, don't you, Blac-Jac? We got one of these white knights that are going to try and come in here and slide some good words in about Chris Roberts.
The only thing I see is this challenge coming up to my face. That's a strong statement.
Oh man, well you know what? I'm gonna give that brother a cheer and a hate. I'm gonna give him 2 hates for that because I agree. I think we got something bigger than just what was told, and I think we see it's getting bigger and better. I don't know if we want to call the man a fraud. I still think that maybe this post might be a little bit fraudulent. But hate to you, Kai. I'll give you that one.
Well, I'm gonna 30K myself before I steal your pimp cane. I'm out.
No, you ain't stealing this cane, brother. This is 24 karat gold. If you look at that. That's the real. Don't pay attention to that stuff that they cat got over there. This is the real McCoy right here, Jack.
That's just a piece of wood that's not even made out of mahogany.
I got your mahogany, all right, brother. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question because you already done messed me up washing your hair on this show. All right, now this next one is a question that I decided that I want to present. Y'all excuse him. Whenever he blow his nose and stuff, he got to turn the camera off. So I'm going to go ahead and put up this next question. All right. Now, you are there, right, Blac-Jac? Because you can hear what I got to say, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. All right. So here's the question I want to present. Now, I'm going to put some background behind this. So are you listening, Blac-Jac? Because you're going to be asking me to repeat myself later on.
Go ahead and repeat yourself, brother. Go ahead.
No. Man, where you get that? Where you get that Davy Jones, Mike Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz hairstyle from, Jack? What in the world? Like I'm on the show with Paul McCartney now. All right. Okay. So listen, let me ask you this question now. What happened to exploration? Now I'm going to put some premise behind this and put some context behind this. All right. So I've been watching these videos, right? This is couple well-known people have been putting out stuff because they got this new stuff in the game. They got what they call the Daryl or whatever they call them things. Places where these ships have crashed at. Where the
derelict.
Okay, the derelicts. Like the derelicts. They got these derelicts in the game now. All right.
Some type of German word.
Now, right now they got these derelicts. Now I was all into the video and stuff, right? And then the guy says, this is where you can find them. Go to this heading to this, and you can get there. Now, is it me or are players getting lazy? Are the players getting lazy? Are they, now we got to go to YouTube and go to the intranet and try to find where everything's at. What happened to exploration? What happened to stumbling across stuff? Like when I stumbled past your crib the other day and saw that you need to cut your grass. What happened to being able to just be out there and try to find what's out in the verse? Instead, we want to go to a spreadsheet, or we want to go to somebody's website, or we want to watch somebody's video to tell us how to get to the river, how to get to the shack, how to get to the club. What's going on with players, man? They're getting lazy?
No, but I know I told you that was the wrong house that you shouldn't have showed up to. That wasn't my house that had that.
Oh
crap.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't your house now. Okay, I
I
know where you live.
AstroTurf,
Yeah,
sir.
you got AstroTurf, all right. That's what it looks like it came from. You like your grass came from another planet. It sure is some AstroTurf. So what's
let
up?
me go ahead and tell you about you see this fine gold. I got a gold.
Hey man, listen, I ain't trying to pay no attention to all that. What you got for the about exploration? I ain't trying to explore that outfit. It needs to be exploited, is what it needs to be. But what about it?
This new generation of folks that's playing this game ain't got no creativity. All they want is for other people to give them information instead of going to find stuff. They just got no type of skills, no type of equity. That's why they ain't got the big ships like I do. Running around in the interest. That's why they call me Idris K.
I hate to tell you this, man, but the Idris K ain't out. So I don't know what you've been riding around in.
Talking about, that's not what I saw in a couple of those Invictus weeks.
Well, I know you ain't get out, but you ain't got one. I know that. But anyway, so you think players are just what? I mean, they what? Just lazy or no imagination? What?
It's both. Why can't it be both? It can't be just subjected to one of them.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is just foolishness. Y'all need to go out there and go do some hunting. You know how the folks used to do it back in the day? We used to hunt and gather. Now all you want somebody to do is hunt so you can gather the products.
Yep.
You need to learn how to do both.
Well, I can say for a fact that you went hunting and you gathered it on your head. So let me bring Pops and Space in right now. Pops, what's happening, man? What's happening with exploration? You got some thoughts about what's happening with the players that they just want everybody to give it to them? What's happening?
Man, first of all, I got to say, y'all two with these outfits on.
They look good, don't they? I know. Hey, this is it, brother. Look at that. Look,
Yeah.
I still even got the tag on the back of it right there, man. Look at that. Just in case I had to take it back. But yeah, go ahead. What you got to say? I know you want to give us a compliment, but you ain't got to come on here and compliment us, man. What you want to say?
I'm loving it, man. Y'all
I'm getting frustrated right now.
I'm loving this. So, explore. We gonna explore Stanton. we gotta wait, and I don't even know the question because y'all got me.
Pop. Okay, Pops. My question was this.
It's getting me a little bit frustrated.
My question was this: why do players need somebody to tell them how to explore? They don't even explore. They say, "Here's the coordinates if you want to find the how you become a redhead, man? What the heck, man? What happened to my head? All right, look, man, listen.
And the glass.
Listen, okay. How come people need to go to a YouTube to find the river? How come they don't go out on their own and stumble across it? How come they need somebody to tell them where the what you call that thing again? The derelict? I forget what he called it. The derelict. You gotta, somebody gotta give you the coordinates and tell you fly 20 miles here, then turn left. Pops, what? I thought players used to want to find that stuff for themselves, man.
No, they don't want to do it no more.
Let me explain it. I'm gonna say this about going to YouTube for help. I do agree with it somewhat because when you look at the comparison between Star Citizen and other MMOs, One Moon is bigger than an average MMO, so it's vast. It's really vast.
but Pops, if you look for it for yourself, don't it feel better when you find it versus because I ain't picking on nobody, like because Board Gamer told you this is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Or Morphologist said this is where you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't it feel better when you say, "Oh my God, look what I found! A red-headed fool on the screen with me." You know what I'm saying? Don't that feel better?
Yeah. Well, it'll feel better for 5 minutes, but if you spend 2 hours searching the moon, I mean, if that's your thing, Okay, but
that's the joy in it. You gotta spend some time out there looking around. Maybe you might be able to find other things, other situations that other people are not privy to because you took the time to go. Glory.
Yeah,
Oh Lord, he trying to take you to church, Pops. Don't be listening to that fool. All right, Pops.
Hallelujah.
There you go,
Hallelujah,
Pops.
brother.
Hey, Pops, I hear you, man. There's a lot of square footage out there, and it's gonna get bigger, right? So you know, if you get frustrated, you know, remember back in the day, you used to play a game, and you would play it to the best of your ability, and then if you finally hit a wall, you say, okay, let me turn on God mode. You know what I'm saying? Because you hit a wall. But some of these players ain't even trying to climb the wall, brother. You know what I'm saying? At least you'll put the time in, Pops. I know you. I've played with you before. You put the time in. Some of these jokers don't want to put no time.
Left and left.
Yeah, I do have to agree with Idris. He is right. Because you will find other things because that possibility is there.
All right,
so
well,
I have
Pops,
to agree with him.
and Pops, I will appreciate that because this is the one time Idris has been right. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go, brother. Thanks a lot, man. Peace to you. All right, we got one more. Fist to Face is gonna drop in with us. Fist.
Yes, sir.
What happened to exploration, brother? What happened?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what happened. It's called a contraption, a little device that was made back some years yonders ago, called damn smartphone.
That's disrespectful.
Oh, the smartphone. Now you try to say
you move me out of the talking environment.
I'm just saying. You think about it though. You think about it. It is a device that makes everything easy. Y'all ever seen that Staples commercial where they got that easy button?
Yeah.
So I liken it to that.
So you saying players got the easy button? They hit the easy button. How do I find the drill-lect? I hit the easy button. How do I find that cave? I hit the easy button. Is that what you're trying to say, brother?
That's what I'm talking about. There you go.
You know what I want? I want you to hit an easy button and tell me how to change that brother's hair on the left side of the screen, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because I need something to change that real easy, too.
Apparently, you don't lost the easy button. You moved me out of the room.
Now, see, for my opinion,
apparently the button you pressed wasn't easy to press. Now, what? The button you want to press?
Not too much. But hey, listen, I will agree with you on this one, gentlemen, because when it comes to exploration, and I say this to my dad all the time, if I find something, I ain't letting you know.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
You gonna make him work.
I ain't letting
you gonna make your dad work.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, you know what?
Because I always tell him, whatever, you know, in this household, you know, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. Simple as that.
You know what, Blac-Jac? This brother sound like Lamont talking to Fred Sanford. He gonna make him work, so we gonna give him a big 30K. You gotta go, brother. Thank you for that fist.
Goodness.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
That was not dynamite.
All right, let's bring in our last one here. We got the man himself, Kai Zen, dropping back in. Kai, what happened to exploration? What happened to spending some time to find the gold?
I agree with you. I think it's good to give players who are just on the surface level, because let's be honest, this game is in alpha. It's not complete. There's a lot of people who pop in for an hour or two, play it, and then are like, okay, I'll be back in 3 months for the next thing. We'll see, whatever. So I think there is some level of actual value in just giving people instructions on, you can get to this thing you want to see, you can see it and experience it, and then you can move on. Damn, you got that bling.
That's right, brother. Gotta show it off.
All right, but
you know, street
I would like to support G-Loc's excellent point, and it just occurred to me that the other cast member here, who keeps showing up with different wigs every 5 seconds.
You just get my name right. It is called Blac-Jac.
Well, I'll just shorten it to BJ, the initials for you.
Appropriately titled. Go ahead.
All right.
That's an automatic 30K right now.
Hold on, real quick before for sure 30K me, but real quick. Go
ahead, go ahead, get it in, squeeze it in while you can.
I would like to support what G-Loc suggested and say that I think it would be very, very cool, especially right now while we only have one system, if CIG were to create 3 or 4 little stations or assets, not like a station, but like a small camp. Now that they have these small camps that they're going to be placing to various places on the planet, I think it would be cool if they came up with 4 or 5 little assets, a small location, a camp town, and they moved it every week. Literally just as a reason for people to go out and fly around and like look for the thing. And if you find it, maybe you can get 2 or 3 loads of a certain drug or a certain piece of art or a certain,
don't get no Blac-Jac, no drugs. You don't know how he gets when he gets drugs, man. That ain't so hot. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
Some asset where it gives you a financial incentive. It actually does make it something cool that you can earn, and it gives those people who want to do exploration, who want to do, you know, sites, like go out and survey and look for stuff. It gives them a cool thing to do while we're sort of treading water in one system.
Okay. All right.
I'm out.
Brother tried to come in here and be constructive. Can you believe that, Blac-Jac? What do you think? You think he has something good to say? Were you even listening? You over there in your wardrobe closet? Were you even paying attention to the brother?
Everything I do is worth what I do. So if I wasn't paying attention, it was worth it.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I think that we have had everybody drop in and want to say something today. I don't know what's going on with my camera today, man. My camera keeps... Are you doing that, man? My camera keep cutting off.
That's a cheap camera. That's what happens when you see that fool's gold. It's not reflective of it. It doesn't want to be around it.
All right, I got your fool's gold, brother. All right, listen. We about to... Oh, you know what? Look at that. See, that's some karma right there. Because Grimhex Brethren's name popped up under you because you talking all that smack. But listen, we gonna close this out today.
Was where it was Grim. So I can see why he calls himself Grimhex.
We gonna close this out today. Well, we appreciate all of y'all who decided to hang out with us today on Twitch and on YouTube. We want to send a shout out, you know, for Griff and Colossal, them 2 punks. They left out of here. And, you know, they know who to lead the show it has with, so we gonna close it out. Why don't you tell everybody what the show is about? What's your name again? Idris K. Tell everybody what the show tomorrow is gonna be right there in the center.
The show is about Idris K. Brought to you by Idris K. Given to you by Blac-Jac. How about that, since he couldn't remember my name? What's going on in the next couple of days? Soul Citizens will be airing what we call a series called Arc Star Map.
Yes, sir.
On Soul Citizens, and that will be on this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Now, you know what day that is, right? Because you said a couple of days. You know that's tomorrow, right?
That's a couple of days.
Yeah, okay. You living in the past. All right.
Y'all refer back to days. I refer back to hours.
Okay. Well, okay. You know who's going to be the guest? You know who the guest is on there?
I know Colossal's gonna be one of them.
You Dr. Murray is gonna be on with Colossal, and you're gonna have Jade Star Watcher, and we're gonna have Fast Cart. So it's gonna be a real good show tomorrow, doing the history of the star map and the breakdown how it got started, and then y'all gonna do a little touring around on the map. So it should be pretty cool. So for those of you who are free, y'all join us on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time for that show. And don't forget to join us for our additional shows. Now, you know what? I completely forgot. FC, let me get this thing real quick. Let me find it real fast. Y'all forgive me. I forgot we supposed to be plugging something. Some of y'all were around back in the day. And I mean back in the day. Now, I don't know if you remember this or not. What's your name again? Idris K. I don't know if he was around back in the day, but there used to be a thing called PodSat Saturday. Were you around back then?
Maybe.
You might remember it. It's been a while, but we used to do this thing called PodSat Saturday. That was, you would watch Gray Headed Gamer, then you would watch the Astropub, and then you would watch Relay. Well, now we have been added to PodSat Saturday. So on Saturdays now, Soul Voices, y'all here today, 3 p.m. Right after our show, we want you to tune in to the Astropub for the Captain's Table at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. These are Eastern Time times. And then tonight, after him, we want you to tune in to Relay at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So you have a full Saturday evening, afternoon, and evening of some great Star Citizen content. So hopefully you guys will remember that. Tune in on them. We're going to drop the links in later. Fast Card, if you could do that for us, we really would appreciate it if you could drop the links in. But y'all already know how to look them up on Twitch. Y'all can go to them, and you're already familiar with these shows. But we've partnered now with them. We're honored to be a part of some legendary shows that have been doing streams and programs for Star Citizen for quite a while. And we are part of that.
Legendary is that name change underneath my screen.
Well, yeah, well, all I know is if you keep coming on the show looking like that, we may be unlegendary and off the podsat. So I don't know what to see what we're going to do. But anyway, that's going to be the wrap on this show. Any last words you want to say, Idris K, before we go, Mr. Blac-Jac? Anything you want to tell people?
Y'all come on down now. You're here and enjoy that podcast on Saturdays. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a ride.
A hoot. Man, who says hoot? Man, you wanted to. Why did I bring this cat on the show with me? All right, listen. Y'all send this brother donations to Blac-Jac whenever y'all can. Maybe that brother can get a different hairstyle or something, because that soul glow is starting to wear off on me now. But anyway, we appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. You get to see Colossal and the gang. And what's the final words we always tell everybody, brother?
The final words other than Idris K is peace, love, and soul, y'all. Soul.
Y'all take it easy. Peace out.